Welcome to the Burnout Room, a podcast about burnout, effective leadership, and well-being in nonprofits.
I'm Dr. Courtney Keim, a workplace wellness researcher and professor.
And I'm Sarah Burris, an organizational leader and nonprofit wellness advocate.
Whether you're facing burnout, leading a team, or working to build a healthier workplace, this is your space to find support, community, and solutions for any organization. On today's episode, we are going to warm up our Walkmans and talk about all of the tracks on our workplace mixtape.
Courtney, I'm so excited about our episode today because our listeners probably don't know this, but baby Courtney and baby Sarah grew up in households full of music.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we, you had come up with this idea to have an episode surrounded by, music that we can relate to the workplace. And so we both created Spotify playlists and we sent those over to our incredible producer, Sophia. And she took a look at those and said that we had a common song.
One common
song. So I think we need to guess who this common song that we share.
Yeah. And I'm so nervous to figure out if we both have the common song, if our song is the same. I don't know about you, but first of all, if I can say, in some ways, I'm kind of surprised by the lack of workplace related songs that are out there. I think that the common song that we have, my guess for that is because it's one that is one of the few that is well known. But there are a lot of love songs out there for good reason.
Yes.
But, we spend so much of our waking life at work and there really aren't that many workplace songs. So I came up with this idea of like highlighting the workplace songs that are out there or the songs that make us think about what is it like to go to work or be at work or get through tough times. So I think some of the songs, maybe we're going to start with like the most obvious in our list, and then we're going to work our way down to the ones that might be a little bit more niche, as the kids say.
Okay, so I'm curious, is your common song, I'm wondering if maybe our common song is sung by a female.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that our common song was written before the 2000s?
Yes, definitely. My song was before 2000s. Wait, is your song after 2000 or before?
Oh no, it's before the 2000s. The song I'm thinking about is before the 2000s.
Okay, so far we're both of our songs before 2000, both female.
Both female. I'm assuming that this person is like quite popular.
Very popular. Maybe one of the most popular people on the planet, I would say.
Yeah. Most recognizable, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Very recognizable. And perhaps I would also say one of the most popular people on the planet for very good reasons.
Yes. Okay. We're most definitely thinking about the same song.
We're talking about the same person. Yes.
Are we talking about 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton?
Yes.
Because of course we're talking about 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
Of course. Like what other workplace song is there if it's not 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton? This is a probably important time for us to note that due to copyright reasons, Sarah and I will not be singing 9 to 5 to you.
But I want you all to know that it is playing rent free in my head right now.
But and perhaps it is also playing in your head rent free.
Yes.
So we are going to build a Spotify playlist with all of these songs, and that's going to be at the very top because, it is. I think that that's the gold standard when it comes to a song about the workplace. It's
iconic. And as I was reading through the lyrics of this song, because I don't know about you, like I sing the lyrics, but I don't always like internalize them. This is not a psychologically healthy workplace that Dolly Parton is singing about.
No, there's a very bad boss in this particular workplace, and you can tell that she is dreading it. She's trying in the morning to get herself like pumped and ready to go to this workplace.
Yeah.
And we can read as many of the lyrics as you want to, but obviously she's recognizing, and what I like about that is when the end of that first verse, she talks about how, she's getting in the shower, she's getting ready, obviously the traffic, with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. And what I love about that is this like recognition that we're all doing this. We're all in the
Yeah.
grind, and that I'm in traffic, you're in traffic, we're all commuting, we're all trying to get ready. And that kind of commonality of just the worker trying to go and get their work done in the job.
Yeah, because I mean, we live in this society. We need money. We have to work. So I think that that's totally right. Like, kind of grounding it in, like, this is a thing that we are all doing. We can all relate to this is just so smart. I love when she says later in the song, um, the boss won't seem to let me. She's talking about getting a fair promotion. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me.
Yes.
Because you just know Dolly's going in there being her amazing, tenacious self, and that boss does not appreciate her like I appreciate her.
As she should be appreciated.
Yes.
100%. And I think that when you are someone um, who goes into a workplace and you are giving it your all, or you're giving it a lot, even if it's not your all, but you're giving it a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you want that promotion, you want to do better and to have those goals and have those goals, set those goals and have those goals be met. But sometimes instead of your boss being somebody that's going to help you meet your goals, your boss becomes somebody that's an obstacle. It's like, wait a minute, I thought you were here to help me, and instead the way that I see you is someone who's actually trying to like hold me back instead
Mm-hmm.
of like helping me get ahead.
Yeah. I mean, she says in the chorus, it's all taken and no given.
Yes.
He's taken all that good work, not giving her the promotion she deserves.
Yeah, and it's important to also remember that when we think about, we've talked about psychological contract theory on this podcast before in another episode. We focus a lot on nonprofits on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What you're trying to get may be a promotion, but it doesn't always have to be a promotion, or it doesn't always have to be a raise. It doesn't always have to be about more money. It can just be about something else, like recognition or goals being met or development or actively involving me in the decision making, giving me a flexible work schedule. Like there's other things that you can give if you can't give Dolly Parton the very well-deserved raise that she is due.
Mm. Treat Dolly better. Dolly deserves better.
Oh, 100% she does deserve better. Um, when I was growing up, something that I was very confused about, by the way, was why that song is called 9 to 5. Why is that song called 9 to 5? Because all of the grown-ups in my life work 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because 8 to 5 is a 40-hour work week, because you don't get paid for lunch, my lady.
Right.
So if you
Right.
work 9 to 5 and you take an hour lunch break, then you are not actually working 40 hours a week. And I always wondered, like, what happened between when she wrote that song and then when I was growing up, all of the adults around me were not working 9 to 5. They were 8 to 5. What is up with that? Like, I would love to know where that schedule change and adjustment happened.
I have no idea. We should probably do some research and find that out, because I think, I mean, that's right. But also, can we just get paid for lunch? I mean, I'm not trying to be that person, but also,
You're not trying to be that person, but Sarah, you and I both, I know you are as guilty of this as I am. We eat lunch at our desks all the time. You're working
yeah.
through lunch almost every day. I know you are, which is the same thing that I'm doing every day is work. Sometimes I have somebody in my office and I'm apologizing because I'm eating in front of them, but it's literally the only time that I can actually eat my lunch. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
Maybe
do.
we should maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't, but what are you going to do? You're in as Dolly says, you're in the same boat as the rest of your friends. You know, we're all in, this is the boat we're all in together.
Yep, that's it. And we're all going to tumble out of bed tomorrow and stumble in the kitchen and pour ourselves a cup of ambition.
Start all over again.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that that's our shared song. I'm actually really surprised. I had about 4 songs that I was like, any of these could be our shared song. So now I'm curious about what some of the other songs are that we're gonna get to.
Yep. I think my two songs that I have for you, my two popular songs for you to guess. Now
Hmm.
I'm wondering if they're also on your list too.
Okay. Well, let's find out.
Okay.
Why don't you hit me with some lyrics and we'll see if I can guess them.
I can hit you with some lyrics. And I think but as soon as I start reading them, I'm pretty sure you're going to know what the song is. So,
Okay, so don't start at an obvious spot.
um, okay. Well,
Are they all obvious?
yep, they're all obvious. I think I just got to start. I think I just have to tell you what it is.
Okay. I'll raise my hand when I know.
And I'm going to do everything I can to not sing while I read the lyrics out. Um,
Okay.
Sarah, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog.
Mm,
It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log.
you sure should. But oh, don't sing
Oh
it.
no, don't
Oh, I don't
don't
want
sing.
to sing it.
We do not have that Beatles money. Can
Oh,
you
we
guess
do. That
what the
is,
song is?
it's a hard day's night by the Beatles.
Yes, it is. Very
It
good.
is. It is. Ooh, that's a good one.
What
What
I
make
like about this
Yeah.
song is like it's a lot of it is like work-life balance is basically what the song is about. When I get home to you, I find the things that you do make me feel all right. This is about like I work all day to get you money to buy you things, but it's worth it just to hear you say you're going to give me everything.
Mm-hmm.
The song is about I'm going and I'm working very hard
Yes.
because of what it gives me when I'm away from work, the ability to be
Right.
able to like provide and uh, to to take care of my partner, to take care of my family. So it's really that balance. It really it's a love song, of course,
Sure.
but it really is a balance between loving your job, I think, and loving your family or the people who are around you outside of your workplace.
I love that. You were right. The second you started, I was like, I know this one. But don't worry, because I'm about to throw one back to you that there's like absolutely no way you're not gonna get.
Okay,
Um
okay.
uh
I'm so nervous.
you should not be. You should not be. Um Help. Need somebody. Help. Not just anybody. Help. I need someone. Help. When I was younger, so much younger than today,
I never needed anybody.
help in any way. Yeah, it's just like obviously this is
Yeah.
Help by the Beatles.
Yep.
I love that we both went Beatles. I loved this song and I was thinking of it from like the staff to leader perspective. So,
Okay.
okay, I was going through burnout. I talked on this podcast about how vulnerable that felt, but it came to a point where I was like screaming for help from anybody that could possibly provide me with some assistance to figure out like how terrible this thing is and how I needed to move away from it. So that's kind of what this song said to me was like I am like begging somebody to help pull me out of this very dark place that I'm in. So yeah, I was thinking about like when I finally decided to approach my leader and how I went through that process. So very
Yeah.
literal, very literal.
Yeah, it really that's so good. That's so good. And both of us are number ones after Dolly to be the Beatles is really apropos, I would say.
I would sure say that.
And I like that you thought about that from like the staff to leader perspective and that you feel safe enough to be able to ask for the help that you need it is really great. Yeah, that's a good indication of a psychologically safe environment. I like it.
Well, I like it too because it talks about how, when I was younger, I wasn't asking for help. I had to
Yep.
go through life lessons. I had to cultivate trust with my leader. I had to live that life to get me to the point where I was comfortable enough to be vulnerable to ask for it. So,
Right. Yeah.
another little fun fact tidbit, the amazing music that everybody hears every time that they listen to this podcast by our favorite musician, Mike Russell. Um, when we were coming up with the concept for that and we were trying to figure out what we wanted our intro outro to sound like, the Beatles was where we started. We
Yep.
wanted we wanted something that gave us an air of that light that light, lovely feel that the Beatles give us when we listen to them. So kudos to us for both having our first Name That Tune songs being a Beatles song.
Not surprising. And you know,
Sure not.
first of all, when you say help, like I immediately go to the lyrics of that song, of course. But then this is also a little bit of a deep dive. Maybe not too deep of a dive because I don't want to go too far down that road. But have you ever seen the movie Yellow Submarine?
I have
But
not.
oh gosh, it's so great. It's a cartoon drawing animation. And in that movie, there is a part where they're called, I can't remember who it is, if it's George or whomever, but they're calling for help. And
Mm.
it's help, help. And then they say H for hurry, E for urgent, L for love, P for please help me.
Excellent.
Which anytime I see help, like I immediately have that her H is for hurry and that very British
Yes.
intonation. Yes, yes. Yeah,
Excellent.
that's really good. Okay, what about number two? We both have a Beatles for our number one, but what about for number two?
Okay. I'm
Who
between
wants to go
two.
first?
Um, you go.
Okay, I will go.
I'm so
Uh,
scared.
I'm going to give you some hints to try to like get you close to
Okay.
this person, okay, or this group, this band.
Okay.
We're definitely in like the late '80s, early '90s.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's your first hint. Um, your second hint that I can give you, and is that this, at least for me, when I think about this band, I tied this band and many of their songs to Back to the Future movies.
Okay.
Have you seen any of the Back to the Future movies?
I have definitely seen the first Back to the Future movie multiple times. I'm pretty sure that there was a train at one point in one of the movies.
Oh, that's the third one, Back to the
Oh,
Future 3.
then I have seen some of these.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, we're gonna have to have a movie marathon afterwards.
Yes.
This song does not make a huge appearance in the movie, but this
Okay.
band is attached to in my Courtney brain. This band is attached to um, the Back to the Future movies.
Excellent. I hope I do not let you down.
Well, it's okay if you do. Like,
Okay, great.
there's only bonus points. There's no penalty for wrong
Oh,
guesses.
perfect. I love a
Yeah,
bonus point.
yeah. What other hints can I give you?
Throw me some lyrics.
Okay, let me just give you some lyrics
Yeah.
and then see if you can get it.
Yeah.
Some days won't ever end, and some days pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm supposed to get a raise next week. You know damn well I won't.
Oh no.
Okay. And again, this is where you like the verse. You probably, even if you've heard the song, didn't even know that that's what the verse was saying. But now the
People who are
chorus,
listening are screaming at me right now. Okay, okay, okay.
probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
No, they're
Okay.
probably not. The so then it's the chorus, which is working for a living, working, working for a living, working, working for
No.
a living, living and working. I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living. So
That's hilarious. Okay. Um, I don't know what this song is. I need you to tell
excellent.
me. I need you to tell me. You stumped me. That's a good one.
Well, I think if you heard it, which unfortunately we cannot play it,
That's
but I
fine.
think if you heard it, so let me just I'll read you the second verse and then I'll tell you what the song is.
Okay, okay.
Hey, I'm not complaining because I really need the work. Hitting up my buddies got me feeling like a jerk. This is the part that's going to really date this song. $100 car note, 200 rent.
Oh gosh. Man.
I get a check on Friday, but it's already spent. And then the rest of the song is some version of whoa, whoa, working for a living, living and working. I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a limit. And then there's a little bit of like a reprise at the end. But this is Huey Lewis in the News, working for a living.
Okay. 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 Kudos, Court. That was a good one.
I was not really trying to stump you at all. And I think this is, again, one of those songs that when you hear it, you will recognize it, but you probably
Hmm.
have never sat down and read the lyrics to actually think about how this one relates to workplaces.
I sure have not heard those lyrics. Those are not in my brain. But man, that is a spot on workplace song.
Right? Yeah. I
That's
mean, that
good.
when I was reading the lyrics, I was thinking it's such an upbeat song. It's a
Hmm.
very like the beat of the song is actually fast and it's like energetic. But when you go and read the lyrics, you're like, oh, wow, some days won't ever seem to stop. I'm working here forever till I die. Like, I want to get a raise, but I know I'm not going to. This really, to me, when I was reading the lyrics, I was like, oh, okay, this is burnout. This is burnout. Like, this
This
is
person's burned out.
this person is burnout. There is cynicism. There is reduced personal accomplishment. Like, I
Mhm.
really see evidence of this person is not in a healthy workplace.
Yeah. Yep. Well, uh the song I'm about to provide to you so that you can
Okay.
name also doesn't sound great.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my hint. Here's my hint. Um this song is sung by a pop group, an all-female pop group from the 80s,
Oh, from the 80s.
from the
Okay.
80s. Very successful and yeah, I'm going to read you some lyrics and see if you can guess it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
I'm
going to
so
start I'm going to
like
start in
I'm
a
stumped
verse.
already. Okay.
I'm going to start in a
Okay.
verse cuz the second I tell you the chorus, you're going to have it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to start in the second verse to really throw you off.
Excellent. Do it.
Perfect. Okay. Have to catch an early train. Got to be at work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time because it takes me so long just to figure out what I'm going to wear, blame it on the train, but the boss is already there.
Uh, Loving this imagery,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not know the song yet. This is a
Okay.
good one. Okay, I don't know it yet.
Okay.
I'm also trying to think of like who is an all girls band from the 80s. Are you sure it's not the 90s? Are you sure it's the
Uh,
80s?
the pop rock band formed in Los Angeles in 1981.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I really feel like I should know this. You got to give me more because I need either another hint or I
Okay.
might need the chorus.
Let me hit you with the first verse,
Okay,
and then if you still need help, I'll hit you with the chorus. Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh, so first verse, 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late because then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made.
I also feel like this is a moment where there are listeners screaming at me that I do not yet know uh, what this song is.
Okay. Okay. You ready for the chorus?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday because that's my fun day. My I just don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday.
This is so good. I have never in my life heard those verses before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're
Even
talking
though,
about Manic Monday by the Bangles.
yes, even though I know I had that album. Like, I probably had that on an actual like vinyl when I was growing up. I probably listened to that song 2,000 times, but I've never listened to the actual verse before.
Yeah.
And you are so right. What a great one, because who doesn't hate Mondays more than somebody that hates their jobs, right? Like, if you
Right.
really hate your job and you hate your work, um, Mondays are not fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're wishing you were still on the weekend because you're dreading waking up and going to work the next day.
Yep.
So we should, as leaders, try to cultivate workplaces where people don't dread to come hang out with us.
Exactly. Well, look, I mean, I do want to say we probably all wish that it was the weekend, all the time.
Yeah.
But weekends feel the way that they feel because we have a work week. So I think that there's always got to be a Monday. Like, even if we had a 3-day work week, then it would just be, manic Tuesday instead of manic Monday. Like, at some point you got to go back to work.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is in academia, I know I am very, very fortunate that my summers get to be designed by me.
Mm-hmm.
Summers can take many shape, forms, and fashions, and they do. Some summers I am doing heavy research projects. Some summers I'm teaching classes. And then there's some where I'm not working as much at all. And every day kind of feels like a weekend. And I will tell you, it's lovely. It's great. But can I also tell you like how excited I am when the fall semester comes back? Like, I'm just so ready to be back in the classroom. Even if I've spent my whole summer working, getting back to work eventually feels so good. But when you're in a job and I've been in these jobs, when you're in a job, see episode 1, my burnout story, where it's so stressful to go back to work, then you end up sometime on Sunday, if you go to work on Monday, sometime on Sunday, like, your attitude changes and you start to pivot and the dread starts to come in.
Yeah.
If I've got to go back to that place tomorrow, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. Oh, that feels so yucky. I hate that feeling. And I've felt it before. So yeah, I mean, like, even in a great job, you may still love your weekends and you want your time off. But when you really hate your job, like, that Monday can look really, really, really terrible.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you, Bengals, for putting it into a song so we can sing about
Yes. Yeah. When you
it.
said girl band at first, I was like, is there a Spice Girls song that's going to be about the workplace? But I did not. If there is one, I did not write it down for my
I was
list.
going to say me going through the entire catalog of Spice World trying to figure out if there is, in fact, a Spice Girl song. Because let me tell you,
Yeah.
90s Sarah loved the Spice Girls.
Well, if you find one, we'll just add it to our Spotify playlist. We'll just keep
Perfect.
building on this thing.
Perfect. I know what I'm listening to on the way home today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've guessed. We've done all our guessing.
Yeah, we're not going to put each other on the spot anymore because these are only going to get more niche as we go. So you might recognize some of mine and I might recognize some of yours, but we're not going to like play a game anymore and try to guess each other's.
Yeah, as I was going through and doing this assignment for this episode today, it was illuminated for me just how eclectic my music taste is. Like, I've got an R&B song from 1966 and then I've got Taylor Swift. Like, it's just like the gamut of songs.
Yes.
So I'm interested to hear about some of your niche songs. Maybe we can just go back and forth and see where we land.
Yeah.
Okay,
you are going to see that with many of these that are on my list, I'm a big singer-songwriter fan. That's I think the common thread amongst all of my songs. I also, a lot of my songs are centered around songs that were popular when I was in my early 20s, because there is actually research that shows that in general, whatever songs are popular when you were like high school and early 20s are the songs that you're going to listen to for the rest of your life. So I recognize that when my daughter listens to this episode, my 16-year-old, she is going to be unimpressed by the lack of range in some of my songs. Okay, so my first niche song about the workplace is actually a Dave Matthews song.
excellent. DMB.
Yes, and the song is Ants Marching.
Okay.
So here are the lyrics to Ants Marching. He wakes up in the morning, does his teeth, bite to eat, and he's rolling. Never changes a thing. The week ends, the week begins. She thinks, We look at each other, wondering what is the other thinking, but we never say a thing, and these crimes between us grow deeper. Now I will pause for saxophone. That happens
Very
after that.
important.
That's
Very
very important.
important.
Um,
Interlude.
and then take these chances, place them in a box until a quieter time, lights down, you up and die. The reason why I chose that song, it is niche. I don't know. Not every single lyric that is in that song is necessarily about the workplace, but it does have, and this is again another kind of like energetic, upbeat song that is basically saying you're like, to me, it's saying you get in this cycle. You're just, it's the week starts, the week ends. You're just going through your routine. You're looking at the person who maybe is your partner and they're also doing the same thing and they're going through it. Lights down, you up and die. Like it's not very optimistic, really. But I think that that's kind of what getting stuck in a rut can feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you're getting stuck in a rut and so is your partner. Like
Yeah.
if the person that you're with, the person who's supporting you, if you are partnered up with someone, there's actually a lot of research that looks at things like work-life balance and work-life conflict and how that spills over to your spouse or partner. And so if you are in a relationship with someone who hates their job, that is going
Mm-hmm.
to influence you and vice versa. So this song really kind of, to me, was having me think about some of that research about how two people who maybe feel stuck in a rut, I don't know if they're both burned out or not, but they certainly don't seem to be loving what they're doing and how that's kind of affecting both of them and how they just kind of feel like they're stuck in this. I think about this a lot. I, as part of my job, have to do a lot of advising for students on what they want to do with their life. I know that that is a very difficult decision to make.
Yeah.
I had to make that myself when I was in college, and I changed my major 5 times because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And and I know that college costs a lot of money and it's a big investment. Like I do understand that. And I understand that students want to have a career that can support them.
Yeah.
But I also have seen so many people in my life that I feel like fit into this song, where what they do for a job, a career, does not provide them with fulfillment. They do not feel engaged. They just feel kind of stuck in a rut. And it's driving along this highway, all these cars and upon the sidewalk, people in every direction, no words exchanged, no time to exchange. When all the little ants were marching, red and black antenna waving, they all do it the same. They all do it the same way. I was like, this kind of just feels like everybody around you is just kind of going through the motions. Everybody's
Yeah.
doing it the same. Is that the kind of career that you want to have, where it just is like everybody's like an ant marching in the same way? Look, and I don't know, Dave Matthews may not admit this at all. This may not be what the lyrics are about, but to me, this is what I was thinking about when I was going back and listening to this song again, about just not finding fulfillment in the work that you're doing.
I think that that's the really like a really powerful thing about music is that the meaning of the music is really subjective based on who you are as a person, your own life experiences. What you said earlier about when you're with someone and that person hates their job and that spills over into your personal life, like I can absolutely say without a doubt that is accurate. My spouse has worked in a myriad of jobs, none of which he has been really fulfilled in until his most recent career. So we have gone through stints of that where it's like he is miserable and it makes everyone else miserable because he's miserable. So I really liked that point. And I think that there is something to be said about that monotony, about everyone is doing the same thing all the time and how that can really make you feel boxed in as a person. I mean, Dave Matthews is talking about, you know, the antennas of the black and red ants and stuff like that. It's just sounds so monotone to me. Like it's like everybody's just doing the same thing and how boring. How boring.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And not, it's not colorful.
Mm.
My favorite Dave Matthews songs, which is not, I did not put it on here, but maybe now you're making me think about it a little bit. I love Gray Street so much. It's my
Mhm.
favorite Dave Matthews song of all time. And just in the lyrics of that song, talking about, seeing the world through this kind of lens of gray versus seeing the world through color. And I think that what can make a workplace so wonderful and special is if you find a workplace that allows you to kind of see things in full technicolor instead of seeing the world in black and white.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good choice.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Well, I want to hear your first niche song.
Okay, I'm trying to decide whether or not. Okay, I'm going to hit you with this one. All right. So we were
Okay. Hit it.
talking about how songs that we listen to as we were coming up are the ones that kind of stick with us. And let me tell you, teenage Sarah was angsty.
Okay.
She was full of angst. She was screaming music. She was a wildling. So my first niche song is Numb by Linkin Park.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So um I'll read you some of the lyrics to this, but before I kind of do that, the frame of which I was listening to this song when I was thinking about it is like really more of a conversation that a person is having with themselves.
Yeah.
So like I'm going through burnout and I can't get through it, and I'm trying to communicate to the person who I was before. So I'm going to read some lyrics and I think it might make
Yep.
sense. So it's I'm tired of being what you want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. I don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Um, I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Um, for me, when I was listening for songs that kind of fit into the category of what we wanted to talk about, like this is what burnout felt like for me. I felt
Yeah.
like I was fighting with myself. Like, Sarah, why aren't you just being the person that you were before all of this? Like, snap out of it. What are we doing? Um, I told when I told my burnout story, like I have gotten a lot of space from it. It's been 4 years since I really went through that, but reflecting back, it was such a dark time for me. It felt so raw and hard and sad. And so listening to this song just like popped up in my favorites because all of my
Mm.
songs are from like when I was like 18, 19 years old. Um, I was just like, whoa, that is what I felt like when I was burnt out. It was me trying to convince myself to stop being the person that I was in burnout.
Yeah. 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 That's a good one. That song to me, when I listen to it, feels very heavy.
Yeah.
It's a heavy song. And it's such a good reminder of how heavy burnout feels.
Yes.
And that burnout is not just, oh, it was a rough day,
Mm-hmm.
but burnout really is that overwhelming, all encompassing feeling of disconnection and feeling like you can't get out of it. So that's a really good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. It was an interesting reframe for me instead of just being, 17-year-old Sarah who's just scream singing because I wanted to
Well,
get some emotion out.
that's right. That's why the only reason why I laugh at all is because I'm depicting little baby Sarah screaming that song on the top of her lungs. And
Yes.
yes, so that's why it's so funny is like, and not to belittle the teenagers, but like, you know,
You're so
what
dramatic. Baby
you're
Sarah
so
was very dramatic.
kind of you're a little dramatic when you're a
She
teenager. You feel
she sure
things.
was.
Your emotions, can be very big when you're young. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I got some happier ones too though. Don't worry.
Oh,
We're not
good.
we're not
Okay.
going to be totally sad, but we're going to start sad.
Okay, good.
How many more do you of niche songs do you have? Do you want me to
I
go
have
next again or do you have two
yeah,
more?
I have two more niche songs.
Perfect. Why don't you hit me
Okay.
with one of the niche songs?
You're definitely gonna know this one.
Excellent.
100% guarantee you will know this one.
Love it.
I can read your mind. Quote, She's having the time of her life.
She
End
sure is.
quote. They're in her glittering prime. The lights refract sequin stars off of her silhouette every night. Sarah is lip singing. I can show you lies 1, 2, 3, 4 because I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit.
Shit.
They say, baby, you got to fake it till you make it. And I did. Right. You know this one. This is
I sure
obviously,
do.
I can do it with a broken heart. One of the reasons, and you know, the common thread actually amongst all of these songs that we've talked about so far, except for the Linkin Park, many of them are talking about something that is very heavy and woeful, but the song itself is very energetic. And this
Yeah.
song is very poppy. It's very energetic, but you know, breaking down, I hit the floor. I mean, I can do it with a broken heart. That hit me in the feels so much when
Mhm.
I thought about teaching during COVID.
Yeah.
I would go downstairs in my house and I would get on my computer and I would live teach to a class of maybe 20 to 30 students, depending on the attendance for the day. None of them would turn on their cameras. It was
Yeah.
all just their little profile pictures. And I would ask questions and get silence, crickets. I tried to develop engaging activities. I mean, I was really like, I felt like I was giving it everything I had, while I was also worried about my parents getting sick and ending up in the hospital. I was worried about losing loved ones who were immunocompromised in my family. Like, when will this deadly pandemic? A deadly pandemic is not a great time for somebody who has health anxiety like I do. So I was feeling it on all of the levels. And after I would get finished teaching class, I would go back upstairs in my house and I would lay in my bed and I would cry.
Yeah.
If you were in the class, if you were a student in my class, you probably would have no idea. Like, I was giving it my everything. I was being funny. I was doing it with a broken heart. That's how I felt. I was out there, like, giving it everything, acting like I wasn't feeling all the things I was feeling, but I definitely was. I'm so depressed. Like, you know, is another part of that. Now, I don't know that the crowd was chanting more. I don't know that any of my students were begging for more online classes during that time. But the idea of like fake it till you make it and just going about your job, especially I think about those people who work in nonprofits where they've got to have a smile on their face. They have to keep working with these clients who need their services and they are providing critical, necessary support. Like, you just sometimes you have to do it with a broken heart, and how difficult it is to regulate your emotions like that, and what a toll it takes on you to do it with a broken heart.
Yes. I'm snapping for those of you who can't see me right now. I'm snapping because absolutely. I think that that's such a good point. And so often, and we talked a little bit about this in a previous episode about how sometimes when people who work at nonprofits are also going through tough times, but are still expected to show up and do our work and serve the communities that we're serving, like it's really hard. And having to put on that, I don't want to say fake face, but like that big, strong, brave face, maybe, and go out and do the work because you know people in the community are depending on you, students were depending on you to teach. So I like, yeah,
Yeah.
that is such a good one. And I'm honestly a little mad at myself that I didn't think about it.
Well, when we were talking about which one of our songs is the common one, I was thinking it could be this one. It could be this one. But then we very clearly, when you said before 2000s, I was like, okay, it's Dolly. It's got to be Dolly.
Dolly. Yeah. That was by design because I had a different Taylor Swift song that I thought it might be. Um, but yeah, that is such a good representation of people who are just trying to push through and do the work because they know the work matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. I love it.
What's your next niche one?
Okay, so in the lead up to this episode, Courtney, we were talking about this, and I said that there was a song that I listened to on the way to work that day, and it made me cry. And this is the
Yes.
song that made me cry. It is Rise
Okay.
Up by Andra Day.
Okay.
And I'm certain you've heard it, but I'm going to read some lyrics. Um, when you're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're going to walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. Um, there's another, just quickly, another verse that I want to read is when the silence isn't quiet, it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet.
Mm.
And that's another one. So that song was written by Andra after her friend was diagnosed with cancer. And she was thinking about what she needed to hear to kind of get back on her feet when she was feeling hopeless. And so, first off, when I listen to that song or when I'm singing that song in my car, it makes me cry because it's an amazing song. And if you haven't heard it, it's on the playlist. Like, y'all should hear it. Um, but this kind of hits me in a couple different places. It hits me both from a perspective of the person who is feeling broken down and tired. So, like,
Hmm.
going through burnout, trying to make it, and having somebody lift you up and help you out of that space. It also makes me think about working for a nonprofit and being the person that's lifting somebody up, helping them out of a dark and maybe hopeless feeling space.
Yeah. Man, you are in your feels. I am loving this. This is
I'm
so good.
I'm always in my feels, Courtney. When I well, we'll see about my feels after I reveal my
Okay.
next niche song to you. But yeah,
Okay.
there's just something about connecting to music, about reframing things in a different lens.
Yep.
Like I said, this song was written about her trying to hold up a friend that was going through a medical crisis. And being able to hear that message and relate it to the workplace. I honestly, I don't know how songwriters do it. I think they're incredible. I'm pleased that your trend is that you were going with singer songwriters because I think that's really important. Um, but there is just something about us as humans connecting to music, whether the lyrics are about love or about the workplace or whatever. We can take those experiences and relate them to our own experiences in life. And so this is just one of those where, I hear it and it just makes me think about being picked up by people, getting support from people when I'm low, and me turning around and being a support for other people when they're low.
Yeah. I like that song, especially for us being a podcast that is really trying to focus on nonprofits, because I do think the extent to which you could apply that to the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like the nonprofit space is a really good place to do that. We talk a lot about mission driven work. We talk about
Yeah.
passionate work and how people can get burned out doing that work, and how important it is to have a group of people to whom you can rely on to help you rise back up, like when a failure happens, or to be able to give more when you're really down. So maybe that song was not written about the workplace, but I could definitely see it applying to nonprofits specifically when we're thinking about just wellness and support, like this kind of social support when your workplace becomes a family.
Yeah. Thanks for going on that journey with me, Courtney. I kept
Yeah.
my eyes dry.
Okay.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Well, this is my next one is again, this is niche, so this is not one of John Mayer's most popular songs,
Okay.
but this is a John Mayer song that also gets me in my feels a little bit too. So this is Age of Worry, John Mayer.
Okay.
Close your eyes and clone yourself. Build your heart an army to defend your innocence while doing everything wrong. Don't be scared to walk alone. Don't be scared to like it. There's no time that you must be home, so sleep when darkness falls. And then the chorus, alive in the age of worry, smile in the age of worry, go out in the age of worry and say, worry, why should I care?
Mm.
So this reminded me of someone very similar to what you were just saying, of like somebody who's really feeling disheartened maybe at work, or someone who's having a hard time managing it all. I really like that idea of cloning yourself. Like, if there's only more of me, I could do more. But also building your heart and army. Like, I do think that when you go into a workplace where you are experiencing burnout, there is some level of like defensiveness that you have to put up to kind of protect yourself. The
Yeah.
last place that I worked didn't take care of me. So yeah, you guys are all a family, but I don't really believe that. Like, I'm not going to get close to people here who I work with. Like, you start kind of becoming defensive. But then there's also, don't be scared to like go to ask for help. Like, you can actually reach out to people when you need them. And as somebody who is a worrier,
Mm-hmm.
I liked the idea of like being alive and still smiling and still going out and doing the work, even if you're having those big feelings of uncertainty or other things that are related to like anxiety, which are also can be things that can lead to burnout. So
Good choice. Good choice. I
don't
think,
think John Mayer was thinking about the workplace, but for me, it makes sense.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't what he was talking about. But again, I love the reframe because I do
Yeah,
think that it fits really well into the discussion that we're having. Are you ready for my last one?
I am.
Okay. This is my adopted nonprofit anthem, and it's from the Disney movie Encanto.
Okay.
Stick with me here.
I'm
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So,
Go.
so for those folks who do not have younger kids who would have forced their parents to watch the movie Encanto, um, it is a movie about a family. Members of this family have special magical gifts. Almost all of them. One of them does not. That's the plot of the movie. But this song was written by one of our faves, Courtney, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it is sung by the older sister named Louisa, whose magical gift is superhuman strength.
Okay.
And I'm going to read a fair amount of these lyrics because I feel like people need to hear them. So bear with me for a moment and enjoy my dramatic interpretation. I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. I'm as tough as the crust of the earth is. I move mountains, I move churches, and I glow because I know what my worth is. I don't ask how hard the work is. I got a rough, indestructible surface. Diamonds and platinum. I find them, I flatten them. I take what I'm handed. I break what's demanded. But under the surface, I feel berserk as a tightrope walker in a three-ring circus. Under the surface, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't want to fight Cerberus? Under the surface, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service. A flaw or a crack, the straw in the stack that breaks the camel's back. What breaks the camel's back? It's pressure like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. Pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till you just go pop. Give it to your sister. Your sister's older. Give her all the heavy things we can't shoulder. Who am I if I can't run with the ball? So that's just the first part. It goes on. Um,
Okay.
can we talk about what it feels like to be the person at your job who feels like they hold a responsibility to ensure that all of the programs are running smoothly, all the services are getting out to folks externally, all the people in your staff are cared and taken care of, all your emails are getting answered, all your voicemails are being returned, and how that just feels like another drip in the bucket,
Mm,
and how eventually that bucket feels like it's going to overflow and tip over.
yeah.
Um, So later in the song, it says, but wait, if I could shake the crushing weight of expectations, would that leave some room for joy or relaxation or simple pleasure? Instead, we measure this growing pressure. So even that self care piece isn't taking care of it because it's constantly dripping in your bucket. And I understand that this is a song that was written for children.
Right?
I understand that this song was not written about the workplace, but let me tell you, I had a visceral reaction the very first time I heard this. I stood up in the room where I was watching this movie with my husband and my kids, and I said, "That's what it feels like to work at a nonprofit."
Nice.
So, um, yeah, that's my niche. That is the most niche of my niche songs.
Very niche.
It is on my favorites list. I listen to it on a regular basis, because that's what it feels like to work at a nonprofit. Is like how
Yeah.
Louisa feels.
Yes. That's really good and such a good image and picture that is painted, I think, in that set of lyrics that you just read. That's really great. I have not seen that movie. My kid is too old to have watched that. She's not quite the right age. Maybe she's seen it, but like, we're kind of past the watch Disney movies together phase.
Sure.
I like, what do you think? What are the kids supposed to get out of that song?
I don't know. I don't know because I was so focused on me being a 30 something year old woman who was freaking out about it.
Yeah.
I think that it's really like, I don't know, like maybe you don't have, maybe this is like what you don't do. Like you don't need to be the person that's moving all the churches. Maybe you don't need to be the person that's, you know, holding all of the crushing weight of expectation. Maybe you can
Yeah.
ask people for help, even if you're the strong one, even if you're the leader, even if you are, you know, in charge of something, a project at school or something like that. Maybe this is a way for you to be like, maybe I shouldn't be doing all this by myself.
Well, that sounds like a lesson for everybody, not just for the kiddos.
It sure does. It sure
Yeah.
does. It sure does. Um,
Well, that's quite the range of songs that we have so far. We do
yes,
have a few honorable mention lyrics that we can talk about. So we have a couple
yes,
of songs each that have specific lyrics in them that we wanted to call out. So I'll maybe start with my first one.
yes, please.
It's one line of one very well-known song.
Perfect.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good.
And if you are a Pink Floyd fan, you know that that's from Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall. Even if you are not a Pink Floyd fan, you probably have heard that lyric before.
Yes.
I don't know that there's any more succinct lyric that can very easily describe somebody's work life than it's just another brick in the wall. Like I'm going in, this is just another shift, it's another day. That kind of despondent feeling that you can have where it just doesn't seem to matter is captured in that one lyric.
Excellent. Beautiful. My lyric is more than one word, more than one line.
Got it? Go.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I do feel like this encompasses what it feels like to go through burnout. Um, do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, waiting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screams, but no one seems to hear a thing? And that is by the poet known as Katy Perry in, in her work Firework from 2010.
I did not realize that was a lyric from that song. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was again going through just random songs and that came out and I was like, it's what it feels like to go through burnout.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm floating in the wind.
We really are going to go all over the place with these last few ones. I have
I
the
love it.
feeling. Okay, my next honorable mention lyrics goes to a blues guitarist by the name of Jimmy Reed
Okay.
from Mississippi, moved to Chicago. But Jimmy Reed, he's had some of his songs have been covered by, I don't know, people like Elvis Presley, Hank Williams Jr., Bob Dylan, Neil Young, the Rolling Stones. He has a song that is called Big Boss Man.
Excellent.
And the song is pretty short. It goes, Big boss man, can't you hear me when I call? Big boss man, can't you hear me when I call? Well, you ain't so big. You just tall. That's all.
Ah, excellent.
You got me working, boss man, working around the clock. I want a little drink of water, but you won't let Jimmy stop. Big boss man, can't you hear me when I call? You ain't so big. You just tall. That's all.
Dude, let Jimmy get some water.
I know, I know. It's such a smart lyric.
Mm-hmm.
You're just tall. That's all is such a smart lyric because it's essentially calling out this person who is the boss is like, you just think that you're hot stuff, right? Like you think that like you're only in that position because you are metaphorically tall, not because you're
Right.
competent, not because you know what you're actually doing. Um, I'm going to get me a boss man one day, going to treat me right, work hard in the daytime, rest easy at night.
Yep.
And and then he repeats again the same lyrics from before. So he sees that his leader is a bad leader. And he knows that if he gets a good leader, he can have, this is my interpretation, that he can have that good work-life balance where he's working hard at his job, but then having time off later. So that is my next honorable mention.
Excellent. And ties very well into my next honorable mention, which is from the song Working in the Coal Mine by Lee Dorsey. And now, Mr. Lee Dorsey sung the song in 1966. He was a New Orleans R&B singer, but in addition to that, he was also a mechanic. He owned a mechanic shop and worked in his mechanic shop his entire career. And so, um, the lyric that I want to read from the song. So this is one of those like very repetitive, like so it starts off working in a coal mine, going down, 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 working in a coal mine. Oops, about to slip down. So it repeats that several times. Um, but then there's a little section that says 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm already up and gone. Lord, I'm so tired. How long can this go on? So there's one.
That's
The second one
burnout.
I the second one I want to mention that is related is of course I make little money hauling coal by the ton, but when Saturday rolls around, I'm too tired for having fun.
Right.
That's burnout.
That's
Thank you,
burnout.
Mr. Lee Dorsey. That's burnout. Also,
Yep.
please see our episode, The Canary in the Coal Mine, where we talk about
Yes.
working in a coal mine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And I do think that when you look at a lot of like the workplace songs, there are a lot of those that we didn't cover that we could have covered that come
Definitely.
from Appalachia, that come from bluegrass and blues. Like there's a lot that we could. I think that's a good example. Actually, both of our last twos are good examples of those kinds of the kinds of songs that used to be more common. I really am surprised that we don't have more modern day workplace songs. Like a lot of these are really from a very long time ago.
Yeah. You would think people would have things to complain about the workplace.
Yes, you would. And that these are things that we all have in common, like things that could really connect with other people.
Definitely.
Okay, my last honorable mention of the lyrics
Excellent.
is a song that I don't think I've ever read the whole lyrics to, but I know the song in my head and I can't remember when it came out. I want to say maybe 81 or 82 or something like that. I'll look it up. Bang the Drum All Day by Todd Rundgren. And the song is, are you ready? All right, everybody now. I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. Like, and then that repeats quite a bit. I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. Hey, when I don't want to play, I want to bang on the drum all day. I'm trying to like do the pacing without actually singing the song.
Is there a reference of this in The Office where Michael Scott is banging his cup? I don't want to work. I just want to bang. I'm pretty sure Michael Scott sings that song in The Office, which is perfection.
Yes. Well, that lyric, I think, just is that pretty much captures it. Like, I want to play drums. I want to do this. I do not want to work. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And yeah, no notes. I'm done.
Perfect.
That is somebody who does not enjoy their workplace. 1982 is when that song came out.
Quite excellent. Quite excellent. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. Um, my final honorable mention is from the song This Is Me Trying by Taylor Swift from
Yes.
2020. And the lyric that I chose from this song is I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
Yep.
It's pretty self explanatory. I'm doing my best, getting the work done when I can. This is me trying.
I'm putting forth the effort. I'm doing what I can.
Yes.
Like get get off my back. Like please stop.
I'm doing my very best, actually.
Yeah. 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 That's really good. Yeah.
I love this.
There are no shortages, by the way, of songs that are out there that are other workplace songs, but some of them, and I have probably at least like 5 or 10 more songs that were on my list but we didn't want to cover all of the ones. What we will do is add all of those songs to a playlist that we will share with you all so that you can find these songs that we mentioned today. And also like, let us know if you have other songs that you think really exemplify what happens to you when you go to work. Send them to us. You can send them to us in our through our inbox submission, which we'll link in the show notes. And we'll add those to our Spotify playlist as well. But I really want to go back to what you said earlier, Sarah, which is art and specifically music is such a way for us to be able to express our emotions and our feelings and be able to connect with other humans. And the idea of having music about our workplaces be a way that we can all connect together, I thought it was such an interesting idea for an episode. So I really am grateful for you that we got to do this today.
Yeah, super fun. I would really love to hear from the listeners on other songs that they think might relate to the workplace because this was a blast.
Yep, I had a lot of fun, and I think this is going to be something that I'm actually now going to keep building on this list. Every time I listen to a song, I'm like, does that remind me of a place that I've worked? Does this remind me of a job that I've had?
Added to the playlist.
Yes.
I had so much fun just looking through all of these lyrics and talking about all these songs with you. And I do think that there are probably some themes that our listeners can take away from all of the songs that we talked about. And one of which is just that burnout is kind of universal. Like you see it in many different forms of work, different workplaces. We talked about Lee Dorsey's coal mines. We were talking about, you know, Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. We're seeing burnout kind of prevalent in all of these places.
Yeah. And I really like that even some of the songs that weren't specifically necessarily about burnout, you're still able to take the message about burnout away from these songs because burnout is such a universal experience. Like this is something that is very common and that can be felt in so many different ways. So you can take a lyric here or there and pull it out and say, that's what that emotional experience of burnout really feels like is what they talk about in this love song, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think that we see in a lot of these songs that like pressure or stressors, they show up in a lot of different forms. Like I'm going to go back to my nonprofit anthem of surface pressure, where, this is just a woman who's talking about all of the different things that she's trying to stay on top of because people expect her to do that. People are counting on her to do all of those things. I think that we see it in Manic Monday and Help. I just think that we see a lot of stressors showing up in a lot of these songs.
Yes, I think there is the pressure to provide for your family is one that shows up also time and time again too.
Yeah, most definitely. And just how much the systems and the structures of workplaces matter. Again, going back to like Manic Monday, like she's trying to rush to get to work so she can beat her boss there, or Dolly Parton who's talking about trying to break through the glass ceiling. because her male boss doesn't want her to rise up.
Yeah, Big Boss Man, with Jimmy Reed's song there, it's you're not really a good leader at all. And I can see that. And not having that good leader is going to make a big difference on the felt experience of the worker.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the thing that I am glad that we did find, because as I was like trying to create this playlist, I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to think I am just really depressed because all of these songs that I'm putting on here are really sad. But I was really happy that we did come up with some things, some songs that relate to resilience. They talk about hope. I think that Andra Day's Rise Up is a great example of that, going through something hard, but being able to rise up and be there for people. Um, so I think that that is another kind of place that I'm glad that we found some commonality in some of these songs.
Yeah, I same. I think the resilience and the hope, again with the Age of Worry John Mayer song, one of the reasons why I chose that song is because when I am experiencing a lot of worry, I can listen to that song and say, worry, why should I care? Like maybe that's not something that I need to be worried about right now. And there is a sense of like hope and resilience that comes with that kind of lyric.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I would really encourage our listeners, like when you're listening to songs in your car, if you're taking a run, if you run, I do not run, but if you happen to run, um and you're listening to songs, like maybe try to think about those words through a workplace lens and kind of see what comes up. I mean, I think that there is a lot of opportunity for us to relate things to songs that could help us lead in our organizations.
And if you are experiencing those big emotions in the workplace, I do think that having an outlet through art like music to be able to release some of that can be really helpful and beneficial. So sometimes it is good to feel sad and to cry to get out some of those feelings, or to be able to rage sing with a really loud song if it helps you to feel better about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cue me in my car listening to Linkin Park on the way home.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this was really excellent, Courtney. I'm so glad that we did this. I hope that folks get some benefit out of it. And again, if you have ideas, let us know. We want to hear them.
Yes. Send us your favorite workplace songs.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, it is time for our last segment of every episode, which is our ripples of gratitude. And this is when we are intentionally grateful for someone or something, put that out into the universe with the hope that our listeners will also show their gratitude to people, thereby rippling through our community. And since this episode was all things music, it felt very appropriate for the ripple today to go to my dad, Mike Russell, who composed our music for the Burnout Room.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited and glad that Mike is getting our ripple of gratitude today because it is so well earned.
Yeah. So when I asked my dad, I said, "Hey, I'm doing this podcast. Would you want to do the music?" And he asked for kind of the vibe. So I gave him a general description of what the podcast was going to be about. And then I said, we're looking for something that is a little upbeat in the
Mhm.
music, because sometimes we're going to be talking about burnout and some very like tough topics, but you and I also bring a lot of levity and a little bit of like silliness and funness and humorousness to our episodes. So we wanted the music to be something that matched with that feeling. And so we gave him the prompt of like a Beatles song, I don't know, Obla di Obla da, something in that general area. And that's all I told him. And then, like, within a couple weeks, he gave us not one, but three songs for us to choose from that he had created.
Not just three songs, but like multiple variations of each of these songs. And
Yes.
so it was not only like amazing to see that he had just like composed this music, but it was so much fun listening to all of it and trying to decide what our feel was going to be for the podcast. And I'm just so grateful for him and his musical genius to come up with our intro outro music for the Burnout Room.
Yeah. We could have gone we could have paid for some music that somebody had written. We could have had a computer make music. But to me, it felt like it was worth it to try and have music that was created specifically for us and by someone who was at a very low price, which is like, I think I just have to like give him a hug the next time I see him, right? To thank him for writing the music for the episode. This whole podcast is a labor of love, and that includes the music for the episode. So a big shout out to my dad for coming up with the music for the Burnout Room podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Today's ripple goes out to you, Mike Russell. We appreciate you. Well, that's our show for today. The Burnout Room is sponsored by the Kentucky Psychological Foundation. If you'd like to help support our work bringing free mental health resources to Kentucky nonprofits, please consider donating at KentuckyPsychologicalFoundation.org.
A huge thanks to our producer, Sophia Schindler, for all of her amazing work. And of course, to Mike Russell, my dad, for composing our music.
And to all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in and being a part of our community. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to leave a comment about topics that would be most helpful for you and your organization.
We'll see you next time.
I made snickerdoodles.
Oh my gosh. I would love a snickerdoodle.
Well, if only technology worked in such a way where I could like put it in a like my CD drive and it would just like transport to you.
Where is the Jetsons technology that I was promised in my youth?
Right? We were sold on Rosie and like flying cars and like Astro, and then we got like none of it.
I feel like this also could have been something like I hit a button and out pops a cookie on your end. Like,
I would love for that to be the technology that we were working on in the world right now. Like, let's do that. Let's put all of our energy and effort into creating technology that will deliver a cookie to my friend.
Yes.
That's hot and delicious.
Yes. Send me a snickerdoodle.
I would be so delighted to send you a snickerdoodle.